This girl, come here.
Hey. Hello.
Say hi over there.
She's a cutie.
Oh, thank you. Say hi. Wave. Wave.
Hi.
He's waving to you. Wave.
Hello.
She'll wave, but she'll wait till I'm about to put her down.
You're going to have her she's not going to be afraid of anything as she gets older.
Ava, make the face.
Maybe she might be afraid of my beard or something. I don't know.
Maybe. All right. Ready to get rocking here?
Absolutely, man.
All right, I'm going to put this camera down here.
And just to be clear, we're still just living in the Super Joe Pardo world, the Dreamers podcast world, and the MAPCON world.
No. I mean, actually, so hold on a second. Alexa, speakers off. Alexa, speakers off. I got to move it from behind my – there we go. I got to move it – it's behind my monitor, so you can't see it, but it doesn't always pick up 100%. Yeah. So like since I last talked to you, I did launch a business. I don't know if you saw that. Like an official business.
Oh, okay. Maybe I did. What's the new official business?
The official business is 234 Solutions, LLC.
Oh, I did not see this.
Yeah. So I have converted pretty much everything that I do to censor around business consulting.
Nice.
And, even my website has completely been it wasn't gutted, but it was sliced up into little pieces and then shoved back into recreate itself.
Okay.
So everything is centric around that. I started up a daily vlog. I'm
that
working
I do
on
know.
3 books. I actually wrote a book in bed the other night.
A whole book?
I Self-Empower. Yeah, it's going to be it's like an art piece, but it's going to be the end of the trilogy.
What's the new website?
superjoepardo.com.
Oh, so it's still Super Joe Pardo, but the business is called 234 Solutions.
Yeah, so we won't be really promote so I'm working with a Facebook ads company right now, and we're doing I'm doing a whole lot. I have an employee out in Denver, and things are really. Plus, I work at a nonprofit now too, 4 days a week as hold on. Web director. Yeah, I know.
We're losing all this valuable data here.
Sorry, I don't mind saying it again. Are we recording video?
We are now.
Oh, okay.
But I haven't actually started the podcast recording yet.
Does it go out in video form at all?
I did, on YouTube, yeah. But I don't do live.
All right.
I publish it. I'm basically doing double platforms now. So the YouTube content always has more. It has this more behind the scenes piece of it. And then the podcast I record, pure on the recorder, and then there's always extra at the end, like when we finish our chatting and I say goodbye or whatever, and we're hanging out, or stuff like this right now. We're going to record right now, so I like to give a little extra. That's nice. That's classy. Yeah, I like to give a little more in the YouTube world. It's more raw and real. So, but I just started doing this. So.
Well, no, it's good. It's
good.
That's what I do with the vlog, man, every day.
Yeah. Well, perfect.
I just woke up or not.
So that, and also then I'm honoring my co-hosts like you better because we're creating audio and video content because obviously there's different people out there. Some people might be drawn to you in the video world more than the audio world. So.
Oh, you know what I didn't do? Hold on a second. Let me turn the camera back on here. So while we're recording for my daily vlog, and you're in my headphones, so they can't hear you. But I think I did mention Live the Fuel, but you really got to go check out. I didn't realize it's also on YouTube too. So we're YouTube incepting right now. Whoa. Okay. Let's do this.
All right. Well, stand by. I'll do your little intro, and then we'll start rapping, and we can catch up properly on everything else we've been chatting about.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot been going on.
I'm excited for you, man. Hang tight.
Thank you.
All right, good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Live the Fuel show. So today I'm excited to bring back a gentleman that I guess you could say was my initial host to the podcasting world because he created the first conference that I ever went to connect and understand more about podcasting. So for our longtime listeners, well, basically since September of 2016 when we launched, you guys might have saw some prior episodes that I recorded at MAPCON, the Mid-Atlantic Podcast Conference just south of Philadelphia. So I'm beyond excited to get full circle and connect back with the founder of that. He's also got a lot of new and exciting things going on, man. Apparently, he's got a new business called 234 Solutions LLC. But online, in the online world, a lot of people follow him because he's got the Dreamers podcast, okay? His name is also part of his brand as well, the Super Joe Pardo. You can actually visit him at superjoepardo.com. But we're going to learn more about 234, and apparently he's got some nonprofit things happening and everything else. So, hey, man, without further ado, Joe, welcome to the show.
Yeah, I gotta step up my my like podcast voice, because like your voice, like you got that deep voice going on there. I love it. I'm gonna say it's the Heil PR40. I was told when I first tested this, my buddy brought in a friend of his, was an audio engineer, and he's like, dude, we're hanging out in my office here, and he's like, let's record with and without it. And we did, and I was like, what do you think? He's like, you kind of sound like a mix between like Howard Stern and Barry Manilow. And I said, okay, is that a good thing? He's like, I think you're going to do okay. So I was like, all right, I'll go for it. Oh, I love it. It's so yeah, man, there is so many things going on. Like the time in which we're recording this, I don't know when this is going live, but
you'll be up in the next couple of weeks. I don't like going more than a month out. I'm trying to keep this more real time.
Better than I am. I do like 2-3 months out.
Well, you've been doing this a little longer than me.
So yeah, it's just so many things are going on like right this moment, and I'm so glad that you decided to come out and take action and be a part of MAPCON last year, and you started your podcast like right around that time.
It launched in September, and your event was
September 11th, I think, or 10th.
Yeah, like literally. Like so, Michael O'Neill was one of your speakers. Yes. He was my episode 001. So because he was one of my coaches.
Love it.
And we recorded at the end of your event. I recorded with Mark Asquith there. Oh, I recorded with I did I think I did at least 2 episodes there. So because I'm more of a real like in the mix kind of guy. So I know a lot of podcasters start in the online space only, but I was like, dude, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to make sure I'm portable because I'm an action guy. So that's why I bought the portable recorder and the microphones and everything else. Didn't know what the hell I was doing. But.
Hey, it's all good though. That's how we get started, right? You once you figure out what you can afford and what level you can commit to. And I wouldn't suggest going all crazy and getting the biggest amount of equipment.
No, I dropped $1,500.
Well, hey, if that's what you can afford, then that's great. If not, your iPhone or your Android phone is a great recorder to get started with.
I tell people all the time, dude, Libsyn is what, $20?
I don't know, because I host mine off of my website for free. So
yeah, see, I don't do Libsyn either. I'm using Mark Asquith's solution with Lee Dumas. I'm using podcast websites.
That's awesome. Glad to hear that.
Yeah, I actually launched with that only because I just, like you just said, man, I was just ready to take action. I just wanted to get it done. Granted, that's adding to my overhead, and we've talked about this on prior episodes. I'm like, okay, I'm now spending $90 a month to use their solution, but as a beginner, I didn't have time to chase down a designer and everything else, and I wanted to use a plug-and-play system that just sped things up for me. And so I decided to give that a shot. So
yeah, no, I think for everything that they offer with the support and the community and everything that they're building, yeah, it's a lot, but it's not that much when you figure out like hosting costs plus hosting of the website costs plus the time and how much effort you got to put into like
time is the big thing.
Building a website and knowing what to do. Like, I mean, I'm a web director at a nonprofit. I've been doing websites since '96, but not everybody has, and that's okay,
Yeah.
So I wouldn't see it as a loss, because it depends on how much you value your time that you're going to have to utilize to like put a whole separate website together in WordPress.
As a fellow consultant, so one thing I'm always telling people, I'm like, listen, you have to pause, sit down and say, okay, where is my time at? What is my time allotment at? What is my time worth to me? So I look at it as, well, I depending on my client, I could be billing at $100 an hour. I'd rather take that hour and go make money. Yep. And I'd rather be outsourcing a lot of this stuff.
Right, exactly. So at $90 a month, $3 a day. I mean, if you're doing $100 an hour, you only got to work 1 hour to pay off that that website. And if your podcast and website are bringing in clients, and it's like, it doesn't, you can get it down. That's when, you get to the point of like, either you're going to learn it or you're going to pay someone to do it even better than what they offer out of the box.
Yeah. And I will say, you could probably talk to this as a longtime podcaster, is that there's something to be said about understanding how it all works from the beginning. I will admit, I kind of cheated. I plugged right into their system right away. And I networked with, Martin Hollins from the UK, who was helping with Michael O'Neill's podcast behind the scenes, doing VA work for him. So we launched with me having a VA from day one as well. So he was doing my show notes, the audio editing, everything. I was like, this was awesome. And I helped him land some clients because he was trying to create a brand called EVA, which basically EVA.FM, which was basically virtual assistants for busy podcasters. And then he eventually morphed it more into audio editing. And then recently actually shut the business down due to like an eye injury or something crazy.
Oh, no.
So unfortunately, and I know, Martin, you still listen to the show, so shout out to you. You've really helped me get this off the ground, and I love you for that. And but unfortunately, I was like, now I had to take all that back in house. So it was like, oh, wow, show notes is a real pain in the butt. But so
there's a lot of little tricks there I could teach you.
Oh yeah,
there's a lot of little things I could talk about. We could talk later.
Well, I will have to, because I do the because I obviously I follow John Lee Dumas, and one of his little claims to fame is we have the best show notes in the industry because everything is time stamped, and I'm like, okay, fine. So I launched with everything being time-stamped. And obviously, in order to timestamp content, you got to listen to the content and know what to target and what to everything else. That's the only thing that's more time-consuming, is I literally need to go back and listen to the whole episode if I want to do good quality timestamps. So, and my hack to that is I just speed it up at 2 point times, and I can listen to it faster. So,
you know what? There's some I have some things I could probably help you out with there.
Cool, man. Yeah, I'm all about sharing some hacks. So
okay. So for me, for anyone who doesn't know what I do as
besides being the founder of MAPCON.
Yeah, besides that. So like I have done so, and I'm doing so many things that I actually have to have my website up to talk about all the different things so I don't forget it.
And I have it up here as well, actually, because I use the Zoom system. I will share my screen.
Oh, snap.
For the YouTube peeps. There we go.
Boom, look at that. So if you click on the menu and go to projects,
I like how clean your site is. You only have 3 drop-down options about consulting and projects. So don't overwhelm people.
Really like focused. In fact, I just got done redoing the whole site, like putting everything in its place. But yeah, so we got blog, so I'm blogging mostly regularly, like maybe once or twice a week, but I have a daily vlog that I put up, which I was just
we just did that. Yeah,
Scott, you're going to be into tomorrow's episode.
Cool.
Which I've already done 20 episodes so far this month, or well, not this month, but like ever. Like,
oh man, you are committed to your vlog. Wow.
I am. I like I said, it's daily. So I'm talking about business lessons like every day, following the journey. I really just wanted a way to track my journey, but it seems like it's really resonating with people.
Well, you're providing transparency.
It's going up. Well, that too, right? Yeah. So I'm really enjoying being able to have someone to talk to in the car rides back and forth to the job that I work at, which is at Hopeworks, which is a nonprofit helping.
So that's the 501c3 gig, right?
Well, it's not mine, but I'm the web director there. Yes, okay. It is a 501. I'm pretty sure it's a 501. It might be a 3B, but I think it's a 5C.
Either way, nonprofit.
Sure. It's a nonprofit, and they've been around for 17 years. And they teach coding and professional training to youth of Camden to help them get them job ready.
Of Camden, New Jersey.
Camden, New Jersey, one of the most dangerous cities in America.
Nice.
I drive every single 4 day, oh, not every single 4 days a week. I drive into the city in North Camden, where it's traditionally the most dangerous part of Camden.
I've driven through there.
Be there. Yeah. I mean, it's awesome. I absolutely love it. I work in a 100-year-old house, and we're doing amazing work. We just won the Scatter Good Award, which is a national award that we were up against, like Children's Hospital of Philadelphia.
Wow.
Dartmouth University.
You guys went up against CHOP,
Dartmouth, and like 2 other. We were in the top 5, and we ended up winning. And we've won like nonprofit of the year, South Jersey, Philadelphia. Like we are like really killing it.
You're
and
hustling, man.
I'm the web director there. So what happens is the trainees come in, they get the professional training, they learn how to code. They learn, basic computer skills, and then they get an internship for 6 months that's paid $10 an hour right out of the gate for 6 months. And then, so
wait, how old are these kids?
We have a Hope Through School program for high schoolers, but but majority of what we work with is like 16 to 25 year olds.
Okay.
17. So like if they need to get their GEDs, we help them get their GEDs. They can go to school for free. They can live at the crib next door where 10 youth can live there for, I think it's like $180 a month.
Do they really call it the crib?
It's called the crib. Yeah, it stands for something. Like it's
I figure there's an acronym there.
Yeah, I don't recall what the acronym stands for, but it is an acronym. And yeah, so I'm honored to have been selected to come and work there. I super happy to be a part of the mission and everything. So yeah, so like while I have my own business, I love what they do. And I can talk more about why I love it more later. But to talk about the other projects that I do, the podcast, the Dreamers podcast, the conferences, we're doing the first ever DreamCon is in like a month from now, May 20th. Plus MAPCON, DreamCon. So we're celebrating 3 years of Dreamers podcast, and this year we're getting at the hotel where MAPCON was, and
cool.
We're raising money for charity, playing Minute to Win It games, and really, we have people speaking. Scott, if you're not doing anything on May 20th, I'd love to have you come out and speak. I
literally just got booked at 2 other speaking events. But I don't think it's that day though. Hold on.
Okay.
May 20th. Well, this is good pod right now. I'm just going to be going through my iPhone, not paying attention to my guest. But hey, kids matter, right? Charity is more important. Oh, it's a Saturday.
It's a Saturday. Yes.
Oh, then I could probably totally make that happen.
That would be awesome, man, to have you come out. So we'll talk more about that.
Yeah, get me
later.
the info when we're done with the episode, dude. Because this hat that I'm wearing is from the event that I went to in San Diego last year. Thrive, Make Money Matter. Yep. This is what it's all about, dude. Like aligning yourself with purposes that are bigger than yourself and your business. Because if you do this along the way, your business will grow. Don't worry about it. You have to have a purpose behind everything you're doing, and people love to align themselves with that. So I try and, without overwhelming myself, help with as many good, positive things like this as possible. So,
it'd be awesome to have you come out. I've written 2 books, 2 self-development books. One was featured on Huffington Post, Entrepreneur.com, FoxNews.com.
Oh, that's why all those logos are on there. Okay.
Yeah. The podcast actually was just featured on Entrepreneur.com as well.
What?
As a top.
I missed that social media post.
Yeah, it was it's one of the top podcast entrepreneurs should be listening to, apparently, and it made the list.
Well. Somebody wait, did you outrank Michael O'Neill? Was he in the list?
I don't recall if I think he was, maybe. I don't recall. I'd have to check.
I could have sworn he was in some kind of entrepreneurial related list, but
he was on a different list because Tayo was like number 1 on a different list. I mean, lists are lists, right? But it's not about the list so much as where it's featured.
Hey, you know what? The point is you're putting in the work, and I remind people this from a business coaching standpoint all the time. It's not going to happen overnight, right? You've been putting in these reps for a while. You've been building your platform. You've been building your exposure. Like you didn't always do conferences. You didn't always, work with 501c3s or whatever version of that they are. It's like you got to keep this hustling, man. You got to keep putting in the work. So
every single day when no one's watching, you need to be the one that's still putting in the work. And it doesn't have to be every day, all day. You got to figure out what works for you and listen to your body and your schedule and everything like that. But yeah, I mean, I got 3 books in the works. One that's going to complete the see how these covers are on your screen right here. I drew all them. I'm not an artist, but I play one in books.
You kept it real.
Yes. And so I just wrote that book actually the other night in bed because I was Scott.
Wait,
I was
which
sleeping.
one? How to Dream Big and Win, or Joe Pardo's 31 life-changing concepts?
Neither of them.
Okay.
So 2 nights ago, I'm laying in bed and I had this idea. I had this vision in my mind that woke me up. I was only sleeping maybe not even 20 minutes. So I wasn't even fully asleep yet.
Oh, this is a good one then, because I've had these things happen. These are powerful.
And I'm like, oh man, I need to write this down. And I started writing it down because I don't want to give away too much because it's really different. The people I have shown it to are like, I've never seen anything like this before, because it's a book, but it's an art project. It's art, and yeah, I don't know how to explain it without showing you, and I don't want to give it away.
That's cool. We'll use it as a teaser.
I'm hopeful that I can have this book done and in the hands of people that are coming to DreamCon on May 20th, because I ended up staying up and writing 70% of the book in about an hour. It's a short book, but it's, like I said, it's more art project. The name of the book is I Self Empower. And
like the letter I, or
like I and then self space and it empower, EMPOWER.
I do love the subject of empowerment, so you got me hooked.
I started Googling to see if I could find anything like this, and I'm like, I can't find anything like this. You know what I got to do? I got to make it. So by the next morning, I finished out writing like the extra 30% that it needed to get down, write the outline and everything. I'm like, I'm gonna put this and make this to happen. I know I have like 2 weeks to make it happen, but I'm working on so many other projects. But yeah, so all right, so that book I'm hoping to have done in May 20th. The next book that completes that trilogy of self-development. But the next book is Sales Won't Save Your Business.
That'll be number 4.
That will be my 4th book. That'll be out probably in like 2 or 3 months from now.
Are you both releasing these just to help people understand? Because we've had authors on this show many times already. Are you going all e-based? Is that how you're able to turn these out faster? These are going to be e-books, or are these going to be actual print books?
No, there's going to be print books. Yeah, they're all print books. Yeah, so I use.
So you have a publisher?
No, I self-published.
Oh, you're self-publishing. All right.
Self-publishing, yeah. So
baller, man.
I'll get the books all written up. So yeah, Sales Won't Save Your Business. I've been working on it for a while, but I think it's really going to be the tagline is 100 pages to jumpstart growth in your business. One of the things I don't read books. Like I have tons of books.
No, I'm an Audible guy.
I don't listen to books either, but so my thing is I write books for people like me who really don't like to read. So they're short, lots of pictures, and right to the point. None of this fluff. I get rid of the fluff. So like I said, 100 pages to jumpstart growth in your business is going to be the How to Dream Big and Win book. And then I'm working on a book with my boy, Jeff Barnes, who wrote the Wisdom of Walt book out in California. He's a dean at a university. And so we're writing a version of that book for kids, and it's been a slow process, but we've been both really killing it in what we're doing. So just time has just been a little bit slower on that process. As you can see on the screen, talks. I've given a talk at the United Nations last year in 2016.
Wait a minute.
On the power of podcasting. Scroll down just a little bit.
Was that before the MAPCON?
Yes, it was.
I didn't even realize that.
The power of podcasting at the United. I'm in one of the rooms with like the little like headphone thing.
That's awesome.
Yes, I really enjoyed being able to bring that, to that.
That's just cool. I'm clicking the article for our YouTube watchers then, because like that's sick, dude. You're actually hanging out in the UN.
Yeah, that was like first thing in the morning when I took that picture.
Very cool.
Thank you. So
yeah, July. How did I miss that part? Okay. Well, there's so much happening at MAPCON. You were running around like a crazy person at MAPCON. So
yeah, because somebody got sick, and it was not a good. It was a good day, but it was a very trying day for sure. I don't know why that's all like messed up like that.
Just the internet. It's done.
Oh, there it goes.
Yeah. Well, again, we're video recording live off the internet. We're recording on a podcast, and we're trying to surf it. I mean, there's a lot going on. I have a residential internet feed, not a commercial. So, there's DreamCon.
DreamCon, MAPCON. So yeah, you can check out DreamCon at dreamcon.us.
Ooh, is that font? Is that the Disney font?
That is the Disney font.
You are such a dad. Are you sure they're not going? You sure they're not going to be obsessed with the D?
No, I don't. They don't care. Believe me, they got bigger fish to fry.
You'd be surprised, man. Although you're doing something good.
Font. I'm just using the font.
I'm just trademarking, man. I just want to make sure you're keeping things safe. I'm again marketing guy. I got to look out for you.
No, I agree. It's not. It's not as big of a deal. Like it's a big deal, but it's not as big of a deal as like MAPCON, right? Because this is like the first year, and
again, is DreamCon going to be all nonprofit?
So we're raising money for Give Kids the World. If you don't know who Give Kids the World is they they allow families of kids who are dealing with life-threatening illnesses to come down to Disney for a week. So it's like they work with Make-A-Wish a lot.
Oh yeah, see, I'm a huge flagship partner of Make-A-Wish. So
awesome.
my nutrition company that I work with, Isogenics, we're massive partners to them. We raise money to them nonstop, year round. Every event, we do massive fundraisings live at the event every single time. Yeah, I'm a big supporter. Actually, hold on, wait a minute. One of my silicone race bracelets right there. Make-A-Wish.
There you go.
So, yeah, it's a big part of my life. I've been donating to them since 2010.
Oh, love it. Love it. Yeah, so we've raised like $2,000 in the first 2 years of the Dreamers podcast for
nice.
the world. And yeah, they get to go to the parks. They get ice cream for breakfast. They really take care of the families. They do really, really great work there. So really happy to support them in our third year of raising money as a way of giving back with the show.
Wow.
Because we don't, the show, my show, Dreamers Podcast, doesn't, make money. We don't do any.
No, like a lot of podcasts, this is a free source of content. Now,
yes.
Granted, other things can come off of that, like people hiring you to be a business coach or something like that. But the whole point here is that you have something pure. And then some shows actually have sponsorships and stuff like that. But I don't think you don't have sponsors, right?
No, I don't have sponsors.
Yeah.
And so one of the things about that is, with the Dreamers podcast, I really didn't want to have to deal with the whole sponsorship thing. And it's not really a big deal to me because I've made more than enough money, because of my show. Because of my show, I was able to get the job at the nonprofit Hopeworks, right?
Nice.
It took me from going from like a $40,000 a year like business to, because of my brand, over $100,000 a year, and that's with zero sponsorship outside of the conference having sponsors, right? So that was the only sponsorship that I worked in was the conference, was MAPCON.
And now you're aligned with something with even bigger purpose and even more impact.
Exactly. And I absolutely love it. So just to run through the rest of the things, I do film and a daily vlog where I follow my journey, and I've taught a class to kids, to middle schoolers on how to podcast, which you can check out the videos on there. I've done a DJ album. I don't know if you can tell, but there's turntables behind me that have been greatly underutilized.
I did notice that when we started our call today. I'm like, okay, apparently he's doing some DJ stuff on the side. So
if you click on Adventuratorium, you can watch the first hour. If you scroll all the way down.
Oh, all the way down. Okay.
All the way down. Adventuratorium on the right there. So basically,
you do love the color.
I do.
Is this your art too?
No, that's actually my brother-in-law's.
Oh, okay.
So this was the album that started it all. Like without this album, I would have never left my family's business.
Your brother's name is Matt?
Matt Lewis, yeah.
That's my brother's name is Matt.
Nice.
Yeah, he's my younger brother.
Oh, so you can actually watch the first hour of the album, but if you wanted to buy it, I think it's like $5 for the MP3s. But cool. It's Disney music mashed up with like hip hop instrumentals. It's all like Disney mashups, right? And it tells the story of Pixar's Up. That's why the house and it was really awesome. Anyway, it launched all of this. Without doing that album, everything you're saying right now, it would not be possible.
Wow.
I'm like a turntablist. I love doing mashups and stuff like that.
Well, let's pause real quick on that last point though, because we talk about health, business, and lifestyle on this show. And I think what you just literally, so again, to our listeners who don't follow YouTube, but you can go back and watch this video on YouTube because this will air. The picture we're looking at, or the feed, he's got a room full of stuff. So, and he's like, I think when you moved your arm around, I'm like, okay, are you referring to like your current lifestyle as a podcaster, the time freedom you've generated from that? Like, could you kind of dig a little more into that when you say not all this would have happened?
So I worked in my family's business since I was 6 years old.
Okay.
It's in the trucking industry. And I grew up there. I learned a lot about business. I worked there until 2004. April 2nd, 2014 was the day that was my last day there. I left to do what I didn't know what I was going to do. So if you go back to like August of 2013, I decided to finally tell my family that I was ready to leave and move on. And I didn't know what that looked like. So I was like, I'm going to go back to school and try to maybe get my associate's degree, because I never finished getting that back in 2004. And
you and I have something else in common. I went back to school as well because I thought the degree was the answer.
Well, it gives you an opportunity to be like, I'm doing something. I'm not just like going home. But what I found was this album came out, I think it was like April 14th was the day it launched. And when it came out, everything like I left 12 days earlier. So it was a very like scary, unsure time for me to not know what the heck I was going to do. And school was great, but I ended up, and I quit that in like 2015 because I was, meeting all my teachers. My teachers were like, we don't know why you're here. And I'm like, because I'm supposed to get a degree. And they're like, well, that's great. But your associates, they're going to, isn't your bachelor's, and your bachelor's isn't your master's. So what are you doing? Because you're already like 27 years old.
Hey, it makes you feel any better. I went back and finished my degree in marketing and psychology, and I was 31. So when I finished. So
yeah, but for which degree though?
The marketing and psychology.
For associates or bachelor's?
No, bachelor's.
Yeah,
So
I was only taking one to two classes at a time to get my associate.
Yeah, but you were putting in the reps. You were still going towards something. You had a goal in mind.
Until I realized that was not where I needed to be. But it took time. So I was doing both for a while. I was going to school and running the podcast and like trying to figure out how I was going to make all of it work. I knew what I wanted to do, but there was it was kind of getting in the way. School was getting in the way, and I wasn't like, okay, that's great. But when you have people that like are Dr. Jeff Barnes, who's a dean at a university in California, tell you, I don't know why you're in school either. The degree's not going to do anything for you. Or you have friends in
that's
very
really
high places like UMass Lowell, who's like one of she's the top of her department in science, is like, yeah, I don't know why school's great, but like, I don't see what's your vision.
Yeah, that's an important point again to pause on here, is that there are so many, especially nowadays, right? Like part of my target audience is the millennial generation. I feel like as Gen X, we need to be giving back, right? And helping guide them. And a lot of millennial generation, they're looking for guidance, mentorship, coaching. And a lot of it's because they don't know what they're going for, what they're doing. And I think that's really powerful. You just mentioned two top professors, doctors, deans, whatever, but telling you that as an adult student, dude, if you don't have a very, very clear goal where you're going, why are you doing this? And there's a lot of people literally just going to school because they're told they have to or they're supposed to. And that's why they're not succeeding, and that's why they're stressing out. And it's like, guys, like if you're supposed to be an entrepreneur, school's not going to teach you to be an entrepreneur. I have to make that point right now. Everything I learned in business is not what I'm using today. I just have to make that point out there. So
no, it's very valid. So I ended up eventually leaving there. But if this didn't happen, like if Adventuratorium didn't happen, what it did was, because it took 3 months to put that album together. And during that process, I learned that I really enjoyed doing what I really enjoyed doing. And while DJing is great, I don't really want the lifestyle of DJing. I'm not into like staying out all night. I have a wife and now I have a kid, and it's not something like if I was like 18 and I had done Adventuratorium, I think my life would be could have been radically different in the DJ sense. And while I do have a follow-up album for Adventuratorium coming soon, like I've been doing little pieces of work for it, but I haven't put it on turntables yet. The thing is it is a legal art, so it's not like I can make a living off of it unless I'm willing to go and do the bookings of like all that stuff and producing. And I just like DJing.
Yeah, that's not where you're going.
I love.
Yeah.
It opened up like a whole new world of like, okay, so let me put all this stuff together. Anyway, 1 month after I left my family's business, I'm on a plane to go run a 5K in Disney. I've done quite a few. In fact, you can just off camera here, you can see all the medals there.
Are those all Disney?
All but one is Disney. Yeah.
Well, I like that because if you're going to be taking the kids down there anyway, why not create a little life balance and do something for yourself? That's nice.
Yes.
That's good.
Yeah. I love it.
As a fitness guy, I'm proud of you.
Thank you. Yeah. I've actually started working out again. I don't know if you've seen that on Facebook, but I've been doing like 5 to 7 miles every morning.
I've been seeing your posts. That's good.
Yeah. I'm back in it because then people are like, oh, what are you training for? I'm like, to not be fat and slow and tired.
But remember, I'm proud of the exercise, and I'm glad you're programming that consistency. But remember, the bigger part of that equation is your proper sleep, rest, recovery, and your nutrition and how you're fueling and recovering the body. You can have the best gym membership and the best running coach in the world. And if we're not taking care of this first, the exercise is a waste of time. So anyway, I just had to make that point.
Absolutely.
Because I got to look out for you, man. I got to look out for you.
I go to bed at like 9:15 now and wake up about between 4 and 5.
That's good. Your circadian rhythm is quantity of sleep and the consistency of the program, right? You're not going at 2 a.m. and then 9 p.m. and then 1 a.m. and then 10 p.m. You know, you're building a consistency.
Pretty much, yeah. Like this morning, I slept in 5:15, was sleeping in. So because I had some other work I had to do, and I was tired, and I needed, to be able to to write. You really gotta know, like your body, and like know that you can wake up and be like, okay, I can fire out the right neurons to make this happen, to get the fingers going. Anyway, so started the podcast because we were on a plane and Adventuratorium was out, and I'm talking to my friend on the plane. I'm like, hey, do you know any other Disney podcasts I could go on? I had already reached out to like 120 shows to try to get on to promote this thing. And he's like, oh, well, there's this other show, you might have heard of it. And I was like, no, I don't listen. I still don't really listen to podcasts because I barely had time. I had a little more time. I had time because I drive now 4 days a week, but now I'm recording the vlog, so I'm talking instead of driving.
Wait, so do you have a camera mounted on your dashboard?
So I have my phone that mounts to my dashboard, and I just use that to talk right into.
Real quick on that.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen these? Let me get
the Magnum one? Yep, I have one. That's what I use.
I had a case of these arrive. I've been hooking up every friend and family member because I'm such a road warrior for my business travels. I have been through so many darn phone mounts. So shout out to NATO Smart Mount. Oh my God, this thing is freaking amazing. I'm tired of the vent clips and everything else. I'm like a walking commercial now. But this thing is great.
Yes. They are, yeah. So I have something similar. I don't remember who mine's from, but it's like $8 on Amazon for 2 of them.
Yeah.
So it is kind of life changing to be able to just like drop your phone right on. Dude, it just sits there.
I know, right? You just slap it up there and it's like, oh, that's so powerful. That's so nice.
It is. So he's like, oh, the show Entrepreneur on Fire, and all they do is interview people. And I was like, all they do is interview people. Like I was going on Disney shows where it's like roundtable discussion, and I'm like, hey, can I be a guest? You can interview me and we'll, talk. And it never even occurred to me. And I'm like, I've been around business since I was a baby, or a little kid. So I could do something similar to that. I was like, but I know a lot more people that live their dreams, and I wouldn't get bored of it. And that's like, so I started writing down things. When the plane landed, I registered dreamerspodcast.com, the Facebook page, the Twitter handle, all before we got to the rental car from my phone.
That's basically when I had one of my backstories was I had a wall covered in Post-its. Like I'm a big fan of Post-its. And when I was trying to figure out my branding, I took all the key words in my life and just put one on every different Post-it. And I just started reorganizing, moving around. I'm trying to work with quotes and inspiration. And then when Live the Fuel came together, Live the Fired Up Epic Life, and create an acronym, and I'm like, oh yeah. And then I Googled that. I'm like, there's no way anybody has Live the Fuel. And just like you did, man, I was like, boom, GoDaddy, buy it, register it, point it to a Facebook page, launch a Facebook page until I had a website, and then lock down that real estate on every online platform. Cause I have it on Pinterest, LinkedIn, Twitter, everything. Just like you said, man, like when you get that juice, it's like, lock it down.
Absolutely. So, 3 years into it, we've done, we'll be at 300 episodes a little bit after DreamCon, but we'll be recording the 300th episode at DreamCon, which will probably be ungodly long cause it's an all-day event. And
you're going to record the whole event as a podcast episode?
Whole thing, but like there'll be interviews and there'll be shout outs, and there'll be, we have several speakers coming. So
you could do almost like a series of releases.
I could. I don't know. I probably will have to be once. I'll have to see what I get afterwards. But I'll have like a month or so to or actually probably close to a month and a half to play around with it. So I'll figure out how to go about releasing. But yeah, a series might actually probably be the best bet is to just release it as like the next 7-10 episodes, 300 to 310 or something like that. It's so big it can't fit in one episode.
Why not? I mean, dude, if you rock this event even more powerfully than MAPCON, who's to say it's not, right? Set the goal. Actually, dude, don't even set the goal. Just commit to that energy level. It's like, you know what? That event's going to be that awesome. The interviews and the conversations are going to be that awesome that I have to release it as a powerful series. Just
I think so. I think so. So I hadn't even considered that. So thank you, Scott. I
love juicing people, man. That's why I'm used that. My action word is fuel, man. We got to fuel that energy.
Yeah. Yes, we do. And so the biggest thing that's happened in the last few months outside of, writing 2 books and all that is I started up my own consulting business. Because while I've been consulting since I left my family's business in 2014, true story, I got paid for 6 months in laundry detergent to consult for a business. Yeah. But you know what? And I thought it was.
Wait, you're a family though. You guys do a lot of laundry.
Well, no, at the time it was just me and Melissa. So we literally had like 2.5 years of laundry detergent. It just ran out like a couple months ago.
Dude,
yeah.
Tell me you made that as a vlog episode. Like that's actually kind of a funny backstory. So
it's a story I tell now, but no, I haven't talked. Maybe I'll talk about it on Monday if I recall, or probably like Monday.
It's kind of like a cool, like back in time to fast forward. Like, hey man, like this is literally how I got paid by a client then and how I do things now. It's
but
to help.
The mindset though, I thought it was great because I'm like, oh great, I can take, because I did some really amazing things at my family's business before leaving, like taking our inventory from over $5 million down to $2.5 million in 2 years while maintaining sales.
Oh, you optimized the business.
Yes.
Nice.
My whole thing is process, right? So I have 3 things. I always say focus on the top. So it's team, offer, and process. And the process at my family's business was really kind of broken. So I was able to really optimize that and bring it to a level where we were able to maintain buying $1 million a month, and yet we continued to go down in inventory levels.
Wow.
At the end of the day,
that's a lot of overhead, man. Wow.
We had 10 locations plus 2 repair shops, but even still that $5 million did not make sense.
And just real quick for our listeners, what kind of business was that?
So we were in truck parts. So my family's been in the trucking industry since the late 50s, early 60s.
My brother and my father both drive trucks. So
awesome.
They're for their businesses. So yeah, they have fleet costs, fleet maintenance, everything.
Yeah, so we have 5 different businesses now, we had 5 different businesses till the parts company was just sold like 2 years ago now. So a year after I left, it was sold. But the repair shop, trucking, brokerage, and properties company is the 4 remaining ones. So it was over $100 million company that I walked away from. So that process of me walking away took 4 years to get there. This was a 4-year
I'm sure it was not easy for you. It's a family business, man. Those are got to be the hardest ones to transition out of.
It was not an easy process. And that's why it took me 4 years of like, do I want to do that? I mean, and in the meantime, like we really killed it because in 2012, we started up this whole new process of inventory management. And the greatest thing I've gotten back was the employees that worked for my dad now work for another company. And they're like, you did it better. Like they're, and I'm like, wow, like I didn't, because that's $1 billion over.
You left a lasting impression.
Apparently, even though they left a lasting impression on me, because I got beat down every single day about how I didn't know what I was doing. I'm just 25 talking to people that worked there as long as I've been alive. It's
hard. Let's be real. I mean, this goes to basic psychology. It's hard for an older generation to. That's like me with health and wellness, right? Like me trying to get through to my own family. I tell people now all the time, if you're going to get into health coaching, fitness, whatever, you're going to have less than 1% to 3% of the population of trainers can actually get through to their family because you're too close, man. They have to find the why to listen. And if they're old school and closed off, as you're talking about right now, man, it's like, it was virtually impossible to get through.
I bet. I mean, it's a tough thing for people to have to listen to, and perception management is something I learned a lot in that last 2 years, of both customers and employees. So anyway, I wanted to take all of that experience, and put it into a real consulting company where I wasn't getting paid in laundry detergent or in thank yous or anything like that.
You're getting paid good hard cash for your hard-earned hours being invested.
Exactly. But it's more than just that. So I'm really big on social responsibility. So for me, it's all about creating jobs, saving jobs, and then also donating money to Hopeworks, because to go along with creating jobs and saving jobs, well, we need people to train people that have been through traumatic experiences to get through those experiences so they can get into the workforce as well, because they're willing. And that's one of the amazing things that I love working there, is I get to work with youth who have had traumatic experiences, and I get to help them get through those traumatic experiences together while helping them build that career path of hey, now you're professional and you know how to deal with all these other outside things outside of just how, inside your head you're dealing with these issues.
Yeah. You're getting it all out there.
Exactly. So I'm super proud of the work that we do. And so I started up the 234 Solutions, and it's been amazing. I'm working with a Facebook company now, a Facebook ad company, and I have an employee already out in Denver, and it's awesome. It's a really great.
And that consulting you're doing under 234 Solutions, right?
Well, so right now I'm doing it under Joe Pardo, because Joe Pardo is the one that has all the assets.
Okay, it makes sense. Well, yeah, that's where your brand started.
Exactly. So Joe Pardo has all the blog posts and the content and the vlog and the podcast and just everything about it is for me. But the point being is that once we get past that, we're going to expand into utilizing other experts for when we identify what they need.
I can tell you that's what I do. I tell people all the time I have years of sales and marketing experience. So I tell people listen, I don't need to do everything. Okay. If a customer is large enough and they have a big enough solution, just because I'm a one-man show doesn't mean technically I'm a one-man show. We are the power, and you'll hear this from a lot of very world-renowned speakers, right? That we are the power of our network and who we know and who we align with. Most importantly is I got to know when we reach the limits of my skill sets. So I prefer as a consultant to be the puppeteer. I'll cast out the strings to the different limbs and hands and wrists that I can bring into the equation to ensure a successful project, whatever we're working on, right? So I'm not a web designer, right? I don't have the years of website experience like you have. Okay, I'm more strategy, analytics, and helping people take all their crazy ideas and actually get into something concrete. I'm sure you've been in those conversations.
Yes, absolutely. And so it's well, part of that whole network thing is that's where we the whole podcast comes into play, right? I've had all these guests. I've done 300 getting up on 300 episodes, have all these guests from all around the world, and this awesome, amazing network to tap into. So I'm really happy to be able to reach out to them and be like, hey, look, I have this client and we've identified these 3 things that they need to work on. And we need your expertise to come in and help with that. So it's not necessarily for every client yet, but the goal is to get there where 234 Solutions is that network of experts. And we're really not that far off, probably only, 6 months to a year off from being able to make that rocket go.
And just because I'm a marketing guy, I mean, it's free advice, so take it for what it's worth. But because you've already got a brand behind a brand, it can't hurt to casually incorporate it into your site. There's nothing wrong running everything off of the Joe Pardo platform. superjoepardo.com platform. So for keyword recognition and everything else, I would be putting this in under 234 Solutions consulting programs or something like that. And then even if you find do you own 234solutions.com?
Not yet. I do own, if you spell it out, 234 Solutions.
And obviously since Columbia relinquished their rights to .co, .cos are now increasing in popularity for business domains because you're just running out of .coms. So I've used that for all my clients too, where we'll use a .co address, but you can have that point to a specific page within your Joe Pardo site
Oh, it does.
And not lose that recognition.
Solution. So the .co, the only problem that we've run into, and I've run into many, many times, is when you write it to some people, they say, "Oh, you left the M."
Yeah, they still don't get it yet.
Yeah,
it is still very new. It is still very new.
Because I also have 2, 3, 4 dot solutions.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so that'll take you there. Yeah, okay. 2, 3, 4 dot solutions.
It's not bad. That's not bad.
Yeah, so it's good that
we can geek out on this,
but you can't typing it in. People don't necessarily get it yet. But yeah, so the goal is to help businesses grow and through the looking at their top, right, their team, their offer, and their process.
Yeah, this is good. And just like we were talking about earlier, the whole message from Thrive, make money matter. You got, as soon as I scroll past your business packages, right there, you're supporting youth. You tied it into Hopeworks in Camden. Very nice. Very nice.
Thank you.
Because people need to know that you're not. And I teach people this in business all the time. I used to suffer from this as well. I used to feel guilty about charging things that I know that I'm worth. I'm like, listen, in the end, I'm a professional. You either want to pay for quality work or you don't. And most importantly is people need to understand, like, dude, you got to pay for something. Okay. So you can't give everything away for for example, you just made a very valid point. The power of podcasting is it establishes you as an authority in the spaces that you decide to talk about. So in time, as you've hinted, you got over 300 episodes and you've had a lot of different business professionals come on your show and built some authority. So you don't need to monetize the podcast. It's just a platform to help people hear and know what you know. And that builds more comfort with you and them. And that's, you know what, I'm going to reach out to him because they've already got a relationship over a free platform. So this is marketing 101, man. It's like, you got to push content out there to build awareness, SEO exposure, whatever you want to talk about, authority building. If you're not putting content out there and you're just sitting there twiddling your thumbs, you've already failed.
Yeah. No, totally. Yeah, you can't just talk about like what you would do.
You got to walk the walk, man.
Do it, and that's what we've done here. So I still have some more finishing touches I need to put on the consulting page because I just did all this. All this, what you're seeing, happened on Friday of last week.
Well, I figured it because hell, you just went and banged out a book in one night too while you're at it. So it's like, all right, well,
I'm super pumped about both of those, but actually all three of those books. But like realistically, like I'm really pumped for that book because that book's going to happen a lot quicker than the other ones. But yeah, so that's the story, and I really love helping people, right? And the main thing for me was that when I was 6 years old, I was crying on the floor at my grandparents' house because I was the only boy, and I felt the need to be like, I'm going to take over the family business. But I didn't want to. I wanted to be a child psychologist to help other kids going through divorce at the age of 6. So while I didn't get to necessarily go be a child psychologist, because I found out that there's going to be like 10 years of schooling, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's not happening. I did, in turn, get to help youth, through my books, through working at Hopeworks, through my talks on how to dream, in so many different ways. It's been amazing. It's really been an amazing journey, and I'm thankful to be here. And I'm thankful for you, Scott, for reaching out and letting me be a part of your show.
I'm honored, man. Like I said, you technically are one of my early influencers, besides obviously me following other podcasts. But I was like, when I saw your event pop up, I was like, okay. One thing I've learned over the years is the power of events. Go immerse yourself in that culture. And admittedly, it was even before the event. I went to that little networking thing in Philadelphia at that very fancy bowling alley, right? Yeah. A bar and a restaurant and everything else in there. That was cool.
Yeah. There's another event coming up like in a week or two. I think next week.
I can't. That's the only problem. Here's one side effect of growing your brand online. And only this short amount of time, I have more people friending me, linking me, inviting me to events. And I'm like, oh my God, like I need a filter. But I did see that stuff popping up. So one thing I've learned on Facebook is that if you know you're not going to go to certain events, decline them to get them out of your queue, so it clears things up. Because I have like 30 pending events that I got to respond to today, so I can know what is going on over the next month. But if I can, I want to try and make it down there and reconnect with some of those people that you and I both know now because of your event. So I look forward to hopefully seeing you at DreamCon, and we will definitely catch up. And hopefully, you got to give me the information on that like today, because I literally, before I was on with you, I was on with the local cystic fibrosis chapter, and I officially have now committed to being one of their, like, they go through every year, they do like a big fundraising push, and they pick, basic local peers to basically lead each of their own campaigns. And it's kind of like a little competition, like whoever, raises the most gets something. I don't care about that. But my buddy did it last year and he nominated me. And anyway, so long story short, now I'm going to do a big fundraising campaign for cystic fibrosis up here in Allentown, Pennsylvania. So,
awesome.
So again, I mean, I already have Make-A-Wish and everything else, but I was like, well, I needed a local charity that I wanted to support as well. And the cool thing about your event is that why not come down and speak at an event? Because number one, I like public speaking. Number two, I'm helping a friend and a colleague grow something that could potentially be something more powerful, because I do say that there's a lot of professional events that need to be aligned more with purpose. So why not go to a conference that you are going to gain some business or whatever out of, but it's also giving back. And that's why I loved Thrive, because we did a huge, massive fundraising campaign there for Pencils of Promise for one of the attendees and helped him achieve building a school in another country thanks to Pencils of Promise. So awesome. It's like this is where things should be going. Like every time I go to an Isogenics nutrition event, we're always doing a big, massive campaign to raise, money for Make-A-Wish. It's like, that's why I get high off of that, man. I get fired up. So, I'd be honored to, like I said, everything works out and you send me the information. If it all works out schedule wise, I'd be honored to come down and help you and do whatever I can for the event and speak or whatever you need me, man. So
that'd be awesome. Thank you. Thank you.
It's all about the bigger message. So
absolutely.
Well, on the respective time,
yes, because we are running over time here.
Yeah, we are over. This happens.
I don't know about you, but I have a meeting after this with Jessica Kupferman. And if you don't know her, go check out She Podcast, because she is amazing.
I do know her. I
don't want to keep her waiting, because I said 5 minutes and we are 1 minute away from 5.
Okay, so as a co-host, I give you the final word. So for our listeners, you already shared so much today, but you kind of already hinted at it, but what is your all-encompassing message right now that you're trying to leave behind from the Super Joe Pardo world if they forget everything else you told us about today on the episode?
Everything is really possible if you're willing to not just put in the work, but feel the passion that, find the passion and then put the work in for that passion. It's so easy to not find passion. In fact, a lot of cases we're basically told not to by a lot of people. And it doesn't necessarily mean you have to make money off of it. It just means that you're doing it. Like, if you love taking pictures, go take more pictures. You don't have to get paid for it, but you never know what could happen. If you pour more time into that passion, then you'll find something. And that's it. Figure out what it is that makes you happy and then go and do it. And hopefully it doesn't hurt anybody in the process, but
I love that. So there you go, guys. Figure out what makes you happy and pour your energy and your passions into it. I couldn't have said it any better. So again, real quick, Joe Pardo, I'm going to let you, if you need to unplug, because I don't want to keep you waiting on She Knows. Send me whatever email you need for the event. Let's keep in touch. But we're going to close this out. Again, to our listener guys, that's superjoepardo.com. This is what we're all about, man. We're here to fuel your health, your business, your lifestyle. So keep living the fired up epic life. And we'll talk to you guys again soon.
Woo!
You're clear on the podcast. So
awesome. So it's DreamCon.us is all the information. And I don't have anything to write down with.
I'll be working late, so I'll tonight after I'm done coaching CrossFit later. But then I'll come back. And that's why I wrote everything on the board here, so I can go over all this stuff tonight.
Okay, cool. So I'll Facebook you the link.
Cool.
And then the link to submit for your talk.
Okay, yeah, because I remember something a while ago. Maybe it was this event. You had said, hey, if people want to submit to speak, I could have sworn it was MAPCON, but maybe it was DreamCon.
Well, that too. No, it probably was for MAPCON.
Yeah, and admittedly, I was so busy traveling, I found that email like weeks later, and then it had already closed. No, you can do it. It's still a thing. Oh, okay. Because even Teo was saying that. He's like, why didn't you do, or Teo, he's like, why didn't you do a TEDx yet? He's like, you are born and bred for TEDx, because I was giving him props on our episode yesterday.
He's got recording. Two Nerds belt. I know.
Yeah, he's like, dude, you need to get on a TEDx right away. And I'm like, admittedly, I just need to do a better job at submitting myself to speak, because I can talk to anybody. So, yeah.
All right. I really should go, though.
Yeah, go.
I will talk to you soon.
Absolutely, man. Take it easy.
Bye.